Hey guys, and welcome back to take 642 on Let's Play Illusion of Gaia. No, this is actually take one, but it probably won't be by the time I upload this. This is our super boss. This, well, my home. This is Gem the Jeweler. The solid arm. Apparently, from what I've seen, he's the first boss of Soul Blazer, and he's not particularly all that challenging in that form. In this game, he is substantially harder. So yeah, not going to be a lot of fun. Blazer was the main character in the Soul Blazer game, for those of you who don't know. And apparently he was beaten, put to sleep for a long time, and somehow, even though it had nothing to do with Soul Blazer, his power got contained in red jewels. At least I don't think it has anything to do with Soul Blazer. I haven't really paid attention to the story too much. I just watched a couple of gameplay videos and haven't even seen through the rest of the game. I don't know. I find the game boring. You know, at least this game, it's got some interesting action sequences. Soul Blazer, not so much. And yes, he is the one who manipulated the labor trade. Now, I do want to, talk about this a little bit, but I can't do it during the fight, so I'm going to do it now. He manipulated the labor trade. However, since he was the one who did that, you would assume that a lot of the slave labor would have known about that, specifically the ones that we found in the diamond mine. The one I freed from the hole in the cave there that I had to, detect with the wind blowing in the hair deal, he sent 3 gems to the jeweler. Yet presumably they would have known something about it. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for these guys who were obviously looking for these gems, for the red jewels. They're looking for them in order to resurrect this guy. They may not know what they're for, but they do know that that's what they're looking for. Why would they want to send them to the guy who was manipulating them being put into slave labor? It really makes no sense. But, I don't know. Oh, so yeah, it wasn't fast enough, so instead he decided that I would be the one. Now, there are a lot of ways to beat this guy. Only one of them really works. Now, you definitely want to use block. It's the only way to dodge these attacks. And yeah, no, do not do that. You want to be off-centered slightly. See how I'm kind of off-centered there. And you also want to just kind of get right up to the tip there. You can hit them twice. I like to alternate once and then twice. Gives you a little more time to kind of adjust. You also need to tap forward a little bit. Oops. Ow! No! Ouch, that was painful. Okay, let's get back in a rhythm here. That's pretty much all this fight is get in rhythm and stay in rhythm. If you can't do that, you're in trouble. And the thing is, I'm not particularly good at it. So you get a couple hits. Oh my god, am I gonna actually... No! Okay, if you get stuck, you run over here. Ouch. And... No! Come on. I can do it. Come on. I did it! One take! One take! About 10 attempts at fighting him before I started recording, but one take! And the first take, too! Oh, wow, that was surprising. I didn't really get to talk about strategy. I'll go through the boss fight again to kind of show off other strategies, but I wanted to be able to just go in on one take and actually beat the guy. Anyway, now, apparently, even though he's destroyed or maybe put to sleep and have his power locked in jewels again or something, apparently he can still talk. Danger approaches the planet. The guy that's trying to initiate slave labor in order to free himself so he can have his own dark power now wants me to save the world. Sure, why not? Doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, and you instantly get warped back to the Tower of Babel. And wow, I have no life left. All right, let's make a new save state and go back to this one so that I can show you a little more about how this guy works. It's nice that they put the little sound effect of the door closing in there. I think that's just kind of cool. They haven't really done too much with the sound effects, you know. They've had the generic ones, but everything really sounds like an attack, you know, sound effect. Now, the way you beat this boss in in Soul Blazer was a little different. However, in Soul Blazer, this guy basically, so basically you went over there, and eventually he's supposed to come over here to the other side. There you go. And in the meantime, we can block. As you can see, this doesn't always work properly, and sometimes he'll get caught on a loop. Now, going up here, you can kind of do a slide attack, and a slide attack, and another slide attack, but you hear that ting sound effect? Actually, he's becoming indestructible, which is why I'm not dealing any damage here. So this strategy, not particularly useful, and his attack really hurts. So yeah, you can do this if you want. I find it's easier if you're right next to him when you initiate the slide. That doesn't always work. You can kind of, you know, do this. Ow! Ow! Another thing I found that, ouch, works somewhat reasonably is if you can time it right, you can use your lunge attack to avoid taking hits. But that doesn't work indiscriminately. So anyway, that's pretty much how annoying this guy is. And just for shits and giggles, there you go. That is your game over, you know, losing a life sequence there. Meh. But yeah, so, you know, in Soul Blazer, he only shot one of those little magical orbs, so it wasn't nearly as difficult to beat him in that way. But let's go back to the save state I just made here. And now we have healing! Lots of healing. Now, for a game that's, for the most part, relatively easy, we've already seen this dialogue, and we'll save, why not? For a game that's been relatively easy, you know, you get 12 herbs in the game, and up until maybe 3 episodes ago, I hadn't used any. I have 4 left. Basically, I used 3 prior to fighting the mummy, the mummified queen, or whatever her name was, the second time around, because I didn't have a healing point right before. I used 3 before the fight against the solid arm, and I used 2 in Anchor Wat, if I remember correctly. Anyway, that's, yeah. The game doesn't really ramp up difficulty. It just kind of, well, it does in a sense, but it just kind of locks you away from being able to do what you've been able to do in the past, and that's, you know, heal. There's almost always a healing dark space right before you go and fight a boss, and even with Gem there wasn't, so I had to use, you know, items instead. This is continuing on with the Tower of Babel. Oh boy. Not again. Yep. Apparently our father is dead, which, if you know, followed what they said at the start of the game, was already apparent. I don't know why it's, you know, Will had this idea that he was still alive. And I understand that, you know, grief could do that, but he didn't seem like he was full of grief. He just seemed like he was spouting exposition. It's pretty bad that the most emotional sequence in the entire game is a pig getting roasted. Yeah, that... Even up until the end here, there is nothing more emotional than that sequence. And a lot of that is the music, but it's so out of left field, it doesn't really jive with how everything has been going in the game up until that point and after it as well. And apparently now our father is in another form. It's a strange room filled with the light of the comet. Okay. Okay, apparently, I think they mentioned this a little bit before, but the comet initiates evolution. And apparently with, you know, really sped up time frame, or, you know, amount of time being condensed, or... Oh no, it's time compression! Oh no, Final Fantasy VIII timeline Crisis, no, none of that. I may play that game eventually, who knows. Yeah, so why are those two able to be there? Okay, based on that, so is everyone else on the planet in this world right now. So what's the problem? I don't get it. Oh, well that's interesting. Why didn't we dive more into this storyline instead of the one that we actually got? This actually seems interesting. Make plants and animals? It's a strange choice. You think they would, just have evolved alongside humans, and especially considering the emphasis this game likes to put on evolution, why would we have to make them? Yeah, they didn't make a camel, it evolved, but sure, whatever. Demons. So, to go back to the Jurassic Park quote, God creates man, and that's about all that sticks to it. Now apparently man becomes God, man creates the devil and demons and destroys the world. Women don't inherit the world in this timeline here. Oh, well that's, I guess, not good, I guess. Okay, so we have, your standard binary. And what about the statues? They were made. What do they do? Where is the last one anyway? Do I get to fight a boss in order to get it? Can I move? I can't move. Yep. The sixth one is given to you. I could understand the first one being given to you. Say the elder of Idery Village had it. This one just kind of seems like, oh, right, running out of space on the cartridge here, let's just give him the thing, the statue, instead of actually going through a dungeon, beating a tough boss in order to get it. Yeah, we were able to beat Solid Arm, and that's a hard boss, but you don't have to beat him. He's completely optional. Okay. Must go to the roof. I'm scared. Room is warping. And we get teleported to the roof. Okay, sure. What kind of power? It's an unwelcome spirit. And here's the basic concept of this game and how evil this comet is. So apparently, even without the technology, which we're assuming is no longer in effect, as long as there are evil people, demons are born, because, sure, I really have no idea what to say about this. This game is just over the top when it comes to storyline. Hey, cool. Ah, Neil's mother. You can't help me. Well, that's great. Okay, that has nothing to do with what's going on. Oh, Seth is here. Even though we talked to him earlier, he wasn't dead. He was just kind of, his spirit was living on in a fish. So I'm assuming all of these guys are supposed to be dead. Let's talk to this one. Of course, the pig's here. Of course, there's no difference at all, even though they just said that, humans evolved and then created animals, contradiction there. Okay, this, from what I can tell, this is supposed to be the gambler that we won the crux from, in the drinking game. You gained immortality. Yeah, because he had a terminal disease, and that's why he took the poison glass anyway. He was just trying to make money for his wife and his child. So yeah, the basic idea in this is the comet. The comet's light forces people to evolve. So if it forces them to, yeah, and here we have, you know, the descendants of the light knight and the descendants of the dark knight. And they're going to perform fusion ha, pretty much. But yeah, the idea behind the ultimate bad guy is this comet will force you to evolve to the point where you'll rain destruction on the planet. And this really hasn't been a big feature. They've talked about this comet, but they haven't really had this idea in this game up until, you know, only recently that, basically the game's trying to tell you, oh, having this great evolution and people being, you know, who they are, they are destroying the planet. You know, it's like a conservative health, you know, Greenpeace kind of message that they're trying to give you. And it just kind of seems out of place considering it wasn't really all that important prior to this. And here we have stage 1 of the final boss. He's going to hit you. I'm going to make sure I have my aura equipped so that I don't take damage. Basically, you're dodging green balls of stuff. Ow. Ow. I got hit twice. That's sad. I should never get hit. Not from this guy. This guy is very, very easy. I'm surprised I got hit. First time I did this guy, I never got hit by that. That's quite sad. Ah, well. There's not too much to this. Like, this is only stage 1. I'm going to do stage 2 next time because, oh, ow. Ow! Really? God, this is sad. I don't think I've ever taken this much damage fighting this guy. Wow. Normally I don't get hit. Anyway, that's all for this episode of Let's Play Illusion of Gaia. Next time, the finale. Next time, it may be a long part. I can't remember how long it takes to go through the ending credits and all that jazz, but next time, the final boss and the ending to the game. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.